Well, this show sucked as it always does every single week, but I mean, what do you expect from a Monday Night Raw? Even though I didn't really watch all of it, I did look up the highlights, but we did get some good matches. We had Sheamus and Drew McIntyre. I heard this match was really good. Like I said, I only saw glimpses of it because of YouTube. And it was actually, from what many told me, a really good match. And apparently it got like 30 minutes. Man, that sounded really awesome. So Sheamus and Drew. Drew would win. So yeah, that was pretty interesting. And you love to see it. Then we had Nia Jax pretty much squash Naomi here. And the thing that actually annoys me about this is the fact that Lana can beat Nia Jax, but the fact that they won't let Naomi beat Lana. Naomi beat Nia. What the hell am I saying? You get my point. You get my whole point. The whole point is that apparently Lana can beat Nia, but apparently Naomi isn't allowed to beat her. I mean, give me a break. I know the champions need momentum, but seriously, Naomi and Lana are the #1 contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Yes, I know Dakota and Rachel won the bloody tag tournament, Dusty Cup thing, but these two became the #1 contenders way before that even happened. Naomi has been screwed out of 2 championship opportunities. She pinned Asuka, and not only that she pinned Asuka, but on that very same night, they earned the right to become the #1 contenders for the Women's Tag Team Championships. Like, serious. Why does Naomi continue to be screwed over? Why? Why does she continue to get screwed over? I don't freaking know. Braun Strowman says that he says that Shane McMahon has a vendetta against him. Well, I say WWE has a vendetta against Naomi giving her championship opportunities. The Miz would have his WWE championship match, but the Miz would first he would back out. First he'd pretend that he's got a stomach ache. First he would pretend that he has stomach pain. Braun Strowman would come to the ring, and as I mentioned before about Braun Strowman, he believes that Shane has a vendetta against him, and Shane would book a tag team match. He would book Braun Strowman teaming up. He would have Braun Strowman team with Adam Pearce against the Hurt Business for the Raw Tag Team Championships. Braun Strowman pretty much did all the work. And then Shane McMahon would want Braun Strowman to tag in Pearce. And then when Pearce would go in to make the pin, Shelton would wake up. And then Pearce would get pinned. So stupid. Alexa Bliss and Randy Orton had a segment where Alexa showed like another image of Randy Orton. I think it was like the image of last week where he vomited that black stuff out of his mouth. I don't know what the heck's going on with this whole charade with Orton and The Fiend. I've stopped caring. I've literally stopped caring about this whole thing. I've literally stopped caring. It is clearly obvious that Randy Orton is losing at WrestleMania, so why the hell should I even care? Why the hell should I care about, The Fiend's resurrection? Yeah, he's coming, the resurrection of The Fiend, come on. Really? You're trying to make me be interested in The Fiend's resurrection. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit. Randy's not winning the match at WrestleMania anyway, so you may as well just get it over with. Resurrect The Fiend, have him beat Randy at Fastlane, and get it over with. There's no reason for this feud to continue all the way to WrestleMania. We know The Fiend is coming back. And I'm sick and tired of WWE trying to make us think that The Fiend and Alexa Bliss are faces. I'm so over it. I'm so over it. You look at what Alexa did here, especially what she's done over the last several months. You think throwing a fireball at someone is babyface? Do you think Alexa making Randy vomit black stuff out of his mouth, you think that is what a babyface would do? You think what Alexa Bliss did tonight, having a fake Randy Orton appear on the television, and you think, and you're going to tell me, yes, that's what a babyface does? Give me a break. Give me a break. I know The Undertaker's done this stuff before. I know The Undertaker was mysterious, but you could tell he's a face, and you could tell if he was a heel. That was the big, massive difference with The Undertaker. The big, massive difference is you could tell that he's a face. You could tell if he was a heel. Here, the Fiend, the word Fiend is basically the devil. You're telling me that I'm supposed to be cheering the devil. I'm supposed to be cheering for the devil. That is WWE's description. The Fiend means the devil. So, you're telling me that I have to be cheering for the devil. And the fact that WWE continue to try and hammer it down that The Fiend and Alexa Bliss are the good guys in this whole scenario, it just makes me want to vomit out black stuff. Seriously, it just makes me want to vomit something out of my mouth. The fact that WWE continues to try and make me think that The Fiend and Alexa Bliss are good guys, it just makes me so nauseous, and it just annoys the crap out of me. This is why I'm saying The Fiend will win at WrestleMania, because they're pushing the narrative that he's the good guy. That's the narrative they're pushing here. I am not interested. I'm not interested, and I've stopped caring about this a long time ago. I've heard people say that Randy Orton's feud with The Fiend and Alexa is the only interesting thing about Monday Night Raw. Yeah, it's interesting, but I just don't care. Especially if I know Randy is going to lose at WrestleMania. Remember, Randy's the heel. He's the heel. Remember, he's the heel. Even though he really shouldn't be. So yeah, Randy had another segment with Alexa. Boring. I've stopped caring about Alexa Bliss when she's no longer been the Alexa Bliss that I remember loving. Go back to the Alexa Bliss that I actually loved. Then I'd care about you again. Damian Priest battled Elias. How funny is it that people thought this man was going to be buried on Monday Night Raw? Hit the lights. He would nail Elias with the hit the lights to beat Elias. So, yeah. Everyone thought this dude was going to be buried. Everyone thought this dude was going to be buried on Monday Night Raw. Everyone was proclaiming that, WWE is going to bury Damian Priest, because that's what happens when people make it up to the main roster. I bet people are assuming that Rhea Ripley's going to be buried. Nuh-uh. Not going to happen. Rhea Ripley definitely not going to be buried. But if there is definitely something I will agree on, is that WWE do like to screw the Australians over. So, if there's one thing I am nervous about, is how much they will screw Rhea Ripley over. They've screwed over so many Australians. Emma, Buddy Murphy, the Iconics, so many. I could go on. I could go on and make a whole video about how I believe WWE just completely ruins Australian prodigies and Australian talent. There are so many examples of WWE just constantly ruining Australian wrestlers. I don't care what championships they won. I don't care if Buddy Murphy was tag team champion with Seth Rollins or he became cruiserweight champion in his hometown. That was literally Buddy Murphy's best moment. Him winning the Cruiserweight Championship in Australia was literally his finest moment in WWE, and that is sad. Even though it's a great moment, it is sad that everybody remembers his Cruiserweight Championship victory, but nobody remembers him winning the Raw Tag Team Championships with Seth Rollins, and the fact that he had a pretty lengthy run with Wesley Blake with Alexa Bliss in NXT. Those are all the championships he's won. He's never been given a fair chance. Emma was never given any chance whatsoever. Anyway, I'm not going to go on a tirade about that. We're here to talk about Monday Night Raw. But that's my main problem and my main worry. Rhea Ripley can verse everybody on the main roster except for one certain transforming goddess. She can stay the hell away from that transformation, Firefly Funhouse, fake-ass goddess, because I do not want to see her anywhere near her, because as soon as she transforms, you know Rhea Ripley is going to lose. So keep her the hell away from Alexa. P-L-E-A-S-E. Thank you. Anyway, let's move on. The Miz got counted out against Bobby Lashley. There you go. Charlotte and Shayna had a match. Charlotte made her claim to the Raw Women's Championship. Everybody saw it coming. Charlotte has said that she will be challenging Asuka for the Raw Women's title at WrestleMania. Everybody saw it coming. You could... To the people that I am going to basically say this right now, if you're gonna... I know people are gonna hate this, but you all saw it coming. We all knew it was coming. You can whine and complain about it all you want. We all knew it was coming. And you know me, and you know I love this. You guys know I love this. Their match at WrestleMania 34 was fantastic. Most of Charlotte's matches with Asuka have actually been really good. So we're actually going to have a really good women's championship match at WrestleMania. But the match quality isn't the issue to most people. The main problem is Charlotte Flair winning. That is the main problem. Who gives a shit? Sasha Banks has won 9 championships. Finally on a long run. Finally on a long, lengthy run. So in my opinion, I think most people should be happy. So Charlotte would beat Shayna Baszler. Well, Naomi couldn't beat Naomi. It wasn't allowed to beat Nia Jax, but you have Shayna Baszler lose to Charlotte. You know how Ronda Rousey couldn't beat Becky Lynch? I guess we can now add 2 horsewomen to that list. Shayna Baszler can't beat Charlotte, and she sure as hell can't beat Becky Lynch. So then we get some Retribution goodness. Yippee! Who's excited for some Retribution? By the way, if you actually want to see Retribution actually be taken seriously, you guys should actually check out My Universe mode. And actually check out the episodes of SmackDown where you actually see me booking Retribution like actual threats. Sure, they will lose matches, but in the end, they will come back and look strong and look dominant. So if you guys want to see Retribution actually taken seriously, you guys should check out My Universe mode. Because here in WWE, Retribution are nothing more than a big fat flying joke. Something that I was invested in. Something that I actually was enjoying when it first happened. Retribution. Something I actually found interesting. So Riddle and the Lucha Bums. I think the Lucha House Party are like literally the only tag team they have on Raw. Other than the Hurt Business. Honestly. Honestly, I feel like the Lucha House Party are like the literally only team. Only team. Sure, you got Retribution. But they're not going to be contesting for the Raw Tag Team Championships anytime soon. That's for damn sure. So Riddle and the Luchas win. Great Metallic would beat Slapjack. Or Shane Thorne, I should say. Poor Shane. Poor Shane Thorne. Can you guys free Shane Thorne, please? Get him away from this crap. More importantly, do the same thing for Dominik Dijakovic and Mia Yim as well. Mace, I could care less about. Thorne, Yim, Dijak, get them out of this stable. I could care less about Mace, to be perfectly honest. I'm not really the biggest fan of Dio Madden. I think Mace would fit well as a bodyguard for somebody. Speaking of Retribution, we had more Retribution goodness. And I actually literally mean goodness because this actually was good, surprisingly. That was Mustafa Ali. He would defeat the United States Champion, Matt Riddle. So, the Retribution members would help Mustafa Ali pin Matt Riddle. Mustafa Ali pin Matt Riddle. We saw Ali do something off the top rope. I don't know what the hell that was. I saw it. I mean, I know it's supposed to be like a new finishing move or something, but it looked really, really weird. I don't know what the hell Ali was trying to do, but whatever the hell it was enough for Mustafa Ali to pin the United States Champion. Thank you. Thank you. Finally, you made Mustafa Ali wrestle and you actually made him look good. Please, I would rather the United States Championship on Mustafa Ali. I would rather Mustafa Ali win that championship off of Matt Riddle. But I know that ain't gonna happen. I feel that as if this is going to lead to Retribution finally breaking up. I see it going Undisputed Era style. Not like, not the one we've just seen currently with Adam Cole. Remember when Adam Cole battled Johnny Gargano when then Johnny Gargano was actually good, Johnny Wrestling. And then they had this whole dysfunction with Roderick Strong and Adam Cole. And Adam Cole was losing his mind over Roddy, costing him the NXT Championship. This was before Adam Cole became NXT Champion. I feel like they're probably going to do something similar to that, where Ali comes close to winning the championship, but the Retribution members will interfere. They will try to help, but it will ultimately fail, and it will lead to Mustafa losing. But if it was up to me, I'd put the title on Ali. If it was up to me, I'd definitely put that strap on Ali. I would rather that strap on Ali than on Matt Riddle. Despite Retribution, being booked like crap, I would still rather the belt on Mustafa Ali, despite Retribution being booked like total bums. And then we get to The Miz finally being forced to defend the WWE Championship against Bobby Lashley. The Miz first faked that he had a stomach ache, and then he ran away from Lashley, and they decided to make Miz defend the title no matter what. And the only way to do that is to surround the ring with lumberjacks. And Miz was begging Retribution to save him, but they didn't do it. Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin would grab the Miz and throw him inside the ring. There you go. There's your WrestleMania match. There's your WrestleMania match. You know that whole crap with Bad Bunny? I think that shit with Bad Bunny's over. Because there was reports saying that The Miz and John Morrison were going to face Bad Bunny and what's-his-face, Damian Priest at WrestleMania. I feel like that shit's over and done with. After this match, I feel like The Miz and John Morrison are going to challenge Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin for the Raw Tag Team Championships. I feel like that's probably where they're going to lead it. And Bobby Lashley, he wins the WWE Championship for the first time in 16 years. After a 16-year long journey, he is finally the WWE Champion. Listen. I used to be a fan of Bobby Lashley. I used to like this guy when I first saw him in 2006 and 2007. I thought he was really cool when I first saw him the first time. Like, I thought seeing like a crazed, strong, powerful dude was actually pretty cool. And I was excited to see Bobby Lashley come back when he returned in 2008 because, you know, like I said, I used to be a fan of this guy. But Bobby now has just become someone I've just grown to care less and less and less about over the years. Not just because of his horrendous booking. It's more that I just don't care. This guy is... He has no character. He's got no charisma. He's got no personality. All he is a legitimate butt kicker. That's really all they portray him as. And listen, if you asked me, who would I rather my WWE Champion? Would I rather it be The Miz? Or would I rather it be Bobby Lashley? I'd say neither. I wouldn't want any of them as WWE Champion. Was it satisfying to see The Miz lose the championship? Yes. Because The Miz shouldn't have had the WWE Championship or the briefcase in the first place because John Morrison cashed it in at TLC. Technically, The Miz shouldn't have even had the briefcase. That's number one. Number two, The Miz is undeserving. He didn't deserve to be WWE Champion. They only had The Miz win the WWE Championship from Drew McIntyre is because they did not want Bobby Lashley to beat Drew McIntyre. They did not want Bobby to beat Drew. Clearly they are setting up Drew and Bobby for WrestleMania. That is clearly the direction they are going with. And if there are people at WrestleMania, they will have Drew McIntyre win the championship from Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania. And that's where I think that's where they're going to go. I feel like that's the direction they're going. I feel like the direction they're going is that Drew McIntyre is going to once again win the WWE Championship at WrestleMania, but this time it's going to be against Bobby Lashley. For some reason, people want to see it be bloody Lashley and Lesnar. Please, please, for the love of Christ, I do not want to see Brock Lesnar anywhere near a WWE Championship. Can't Brock Lesnar actually have a feud that doesn't revolve around a championship? But at the end of the day, Bobby Lashley is the new WWE Champion. Would I rather Lashley as champion over The Miz? As I said, I'd say neither. I just wish Drew was still the champion. I would just much rather Drew as the WWE Champion. Drew was doing good as WWE Champion. They only took it off. They only did the whole thing with The Miz just so then they could have, you know, Bobby Lashley beat The Miz so they can do Drew and Lashley at WrestleMania. That is the only reason why they did it. So yeah, that is my review of Monday Night Raw. I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and I will see you all next time.